This is Allie with US Classic Muscle Cars, and we're here with Steve and a very interesting car we have. This is a Marlin. Can you tell us about this beautiful car?
Sure, yeah, thank you. This is by American Motors in 1966. They built them 3 years, 5, 6, and 7 in the 60s. It was Rambler in 65, AMC bought them, and so they're kind of an odd car. They didn't make a whole bunch of them, I think 4,500 in 1966, but you don't see a lot of them, and I kind of like odd, kind of quirky cars, and this fit the bill. So yeah, this car is got most of its original sheet metal. It's got a whole new driveline. It's kind of a custom, kind of the first hot rod I've really ever built, but it's a big block Chevy now, and GM transmission, Ford 9-incher, and a lot of the AMC purists don't like that, but a lot of them do. So, but the car retains almost all of its original trim and chrome, and was able to refurbish and refinish a lot of it.
And how long did the restoration take?
So it took 10 years. It started in 08 and just finished. I painted the car in a House of Kolor candy tangerine. So that has a gold base and a tinted clear, and
it's a beautiful and very unique color, that's for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really terrific out in the sun. It really comes alive. But it's the roof being black is factory. The roof behind the rear windows is factory. So I did want to retain as much original kind of appearance, although obviously it's been modified. But and it sits on airbags now. So.
And I see there's no handles on the doors. Can you tell me, how do we get in this car?
Yeah, so there's a few ways. There's an actuator, there's a button on the dash, trips the solenoid, pops the doors open. There's probably won't be on film now, there's a key fob as well, and that opens the doors. And then there's a safety cable you can pull to open the doors if you need to as well. So. And
then the interior I see is pretty unique also. Was that all you?
Yep, I designed the interior. They're basically Corvo racing seats, and I refinished them with the correct upholstery. Can't see the headliner, got to get way down and look up, but it's got the same kind of orange graphic and everything else with the black, and I did as much of the interior as I could to play off the exterior.
Absolutely. I mean, the colors blend together perfectly. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you.
And has this won any awards? I mean, this car is so unique, it had to.
Yeah, so I think it won a PIC award from Reliable today. The judge came by and chatted with me and went around the car and so forth. So that has yet to be determined. But World of Wheels in Boston this past February did won Best Street, which are cars that get used and driven. So, which is kind of what I like. So yeah, otherwise I've only had it out on the road a short period of time. So it got 2 Best of shows and some other local shows though, where I'm from back in New England.
And I didn't hear, did you say anything about horsepower in this puppy?
Yeah, this motor made 746.7 horsepower on pump gas. That's off a dyno. And so yeah, it's pretty horrifying to drive, but you get used to it. It's a lot of fun.
And we actually end up.
And by any chance, can we see under the hood?
Oh yeah, I mean it's a car show, right? We got to do that. So sure.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So American Motor, these cars, you know, they'd have big shock towers. They've been cut out and removed. A whole Mustang 2 front suspension has been put in, and then custom mounts so that the big block Chevy would sit in there. This guy, Mark, helped me find parts, believe it or not. Been a big help, different story, but hard to find parts for a Marlin, as you can imagine. But it's a 511 cubic inch big block Chevy, like I said, 747 horse, and pretty simple, easy to get at everything, easy to work on.
I have to ask, what's your favorite part of the car?
My favorite part of the car is just kind of the wow factor, or just the fact that nobody knows what it is. So driving something that's so unusual, and most people just say, I've never heard of a Marlin.
I was one of them, absolutely. Yeah. So Steve, thank you so much. Thank you for all the knowledge. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Take care.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
And we're here with Ryan. This is Steve's son. And Ryan, it seems like you had a lot to do with this car and the restoration also.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 10-year process, but it was, every second of it was so much fun. I mean, the paint and body work we didn't do. We had someone else do that, but a lot of the assembly stuff, and it's just getting the panel alignment, that's, you know, stuff. It's fun. It's a lot of countless hours, but when you step back and look at it, that's the reward you get. It makes it all worth it, all the hours, and I don't know how many hours. I mean, it's just, you can't really calculate it.
So out of the restoration, what's some of the favorite stuff that you did to this car?
I designed the gauges, the custom gauges. That was fun to do. I put together a lot of the interior stuff, just nut and bolt stuff, little things. You know, putting the engine together and putting that in the car. It's just a lot of the finish work that needed to be done. We did that, and it was just, like I said, every second of it was so much fun, and then driving it is even better.
So you get to drive it?
I do, sometimes. It's just, I think I drive it faster than my dad.
I was going to say, do you get to have a little fun in it?
Yeah, it's, one thing we should have done is we should have tubbed it in the back, and it's got little tires. It's making too much power for those tires. And all it's really good for is smoke and rubber fragments, but it's all fun.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you were to be a part of this. I mean, definitely some memories that you had making, right?
Oh, it's so many good memories and so much knowledge that comes from building these cars too. And you learn so much, and I work at a shop, and I've come to learn a lot just in a couple summers of working at that shop, and it's just learning about these cars and learning.
And what shop do you work at?
I work at East Coast Auto and Restoration in Northampton, New Hampshire. Yeah, Matt Woods, he's a great boss. He's great to work for, and only him to thank for all the knowledge I've got. And being able to apply that to this car here, it was great fun. And
well, I know I asked your dad what his favorite part of the car is. He said the uniqueness and whatnot. What's your favorite part?
Uniqueness is definitely one of them, but I love the shape of the car and the way everything works and the lines. I think the designers at AMC really hit it off there. It's such a well-designed car, and the color combination and the hood scoop, I think everything works, but just the way the car is designed and the way it's sculpted is really just amazing.
Absolutely. Ryan, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.